Hey, book lovers. Welcome to Plot on the Rocks, the podcast where representation is crucial and it's always for the plot.
We're your hosts, Alicia, Rakia, and Tia, three friends dedicated to honoring the brilliance and the power of Black and POC authors.
We got some hot takes, some spoilers, don't worry, we'll always warn you, and deep convos on culture, identity, and everything in between.
Each week we dive deep into a new book, share our unfiltered thoughts, and celebrate the writers who are reshaping the literary world, one story at a time.
And fair warning, if you're here for a calm, quiet book club, this might not be what you're looking for.
Grab your favorite drink, curl up with us, and let's talk books. The ones that move us, excite us, and keep us flipping pages way past our bedtime.
So lower your expectations and let's get into the plot.
Ooh, hello everybody, and welcome back to episode 5.
Ooh, we're getting on up there.
Oh my god.
We hit
Mm-hmm.
We hit, like, I think they said once we make it to episode 5, we've beat like 95% of podcasts that don't continue.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Because they just give up.
Yeah. And like, honestly, I get it. However, we did it. We have done it.
We're too stubborn to quit. Oh my god. And also, I think by the time this episode premieres, it should be like 2 days into Hispanic Heritage Month. So happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Yes, and that fits because the book we're talking about today is Family Lore by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is probably one of my favorite books of 2025. So good.
It was good.
It was one of those books where I was not prepared for it. I went in thinking one thing about what it was gonna be like to read it, and it was completely different than that. But I did really enjoy getting to know their family.
Yeah. I feel like it was a good blend of like the newer generation and the older generation too. And then I ain't gonna hold you. At first I was like, what am I reading? But then once Alicia explained to me what it was, I was like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Same.
Because I was the same way, because I think it took me a minute to get into her writing style, and then when I looked her up and I found out, like, you know, her background is in spoken word and poetry, and I was like, okay, this makes sense. So like just her blend of how she blends poetry and prose together is probably one of my favorite things, and this honestly made me feel like this is why I went to school to study literature, because to me this is probably a book that, like, if it's not in a college or like grad school level literature class, it should be. At least, I don't know if all schools have it, but I know a lot of schools in New York have like Hispanic literature. They do like literature by ethnic group too, just so if you want to delve more into it, they should include that in the curriculum. You know, SUNY, CUNY school system. I know you're not going to listen to me, but I'm one of your alumni, so do it. Please. Oh my god. But no, it was good. And this is one of these books where what I've seen people like on their reviews, it's like they didn't like it because I think this is her first adult novel. So people were like, oh, I read all of her young adult novels. This is so different. It's like, well, yeah, because young adult writing and adult writing are two different things. Which, have you guys read any of her YA stuff? I haven't.
I don't think I've seen it, though. I feel like it was The Poet X. I feel like that was super popular, and I remember the cover, but I don't think I read it. But I might.
I don't think I read it either, but I definitely remember hearing about it.
Yeah. I might pick that up. And then it's like I saw someone else be like, it's one of those books that you read and then you Google it afterwards and you're just like, oh, that's what it's supposed to be about. And then you go back and reread it, and then it all makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like if you want an adult version of Encanto,
yeah,
basically,
this is it. Yeah.
Because grandma was tripping.
Bro.
Listen. All of the older matriarchs piss me off.
Yes.
Their
At
mom,
one
their
point.
grandmother, their aunt, their other aunt, the crazy one,
'Cause
the one that was like possessed, which I don't think she was
Yeah.
possessed.
was she like schizophrenic or something? Like,
One thing that stood out to me was like she thought that Pastora was her sister.
yes.
And she kept telling like, "Oh, you're gonna steal my husband," blah blah blah. So there's some underlying tension there that wasn't talked about. So whatever anger she had towards her sister, I think she took out on this kid.
Yeah. That's another reason why I didn't like the
Well-
mom too. Because if I know me and my sister beefing, I'm not sending my baby to you.
Right.
And then not even telling the dad.
Right.
Crazy.
No.
And
She knew
then
she
at
was
the
wrong.
end, when
Sorry,
you, no, you're good. That's my bad. I thought you was done. Well, first of all, finish your thought. I'm sorry.
No, that was it. No, she knew she was wrong for that. That's why she didn't tell the daddy.
Yeah, she definitely was. And then what blew me is at the end when she find herself talking about, I won't lose another daughter. I'm like, baby, you sent her. You sent, like, it was you that did that. Like, you let that happen. Nobody came and kidnapped her. But I think it just goes to show, like, there was a lot of, like, negative, like, I don't know, I guess patterns in the family that she just continued and allowed to continue through her daughters. Yeah, it was a mess.
Yeah.
I know. I think Camila got like, I guess it's like stereotypical like younger sibling, because you know the younger sibling is always the one that like doesn't get the type of parents that like the older siblings had, because for whatever reason. So I feel like she may be the only one that might have had a positive experience with her mom,
Yeah.
whereas the other ones, we really only kind of hear like just Pastora's thing, and like to tie it back to Encanto, that's Bruno to me. Pastora is Bruno and Bruno is Pastora, because like in Encanto, like his gift was just seeing the future and telling people that, but everybody hated him for it. And it's like, these things are gonna happen anyway, and now you're shunning me. And then you have Pastora who can hear the truth no matter what you say. And like, I think what struck me with this is the cultural aspect of it, where it's very much, obviously children need to be seen and not heard. That's the biggest thing. And she's a girl in a very like machismo society. So can you imagine a little girl calling older family members out on their shit?
That's
And
why
like,
she was in
no,
trouble
you're
all the
lying.
time.
Yeah.
That's why, exactly, because they didn't like that. They didn't like to be held accountable. And she was abused for that. Literally abused for it.
That, when they had her, like, what was it, kneeling on a cheese grater? I said, excuse me?
My heart was so broken for her during that entire part of the book. I'm like, how are y'all allowing this? Like, and the crazy thing is, it's not like nobody knew. The whole neighborhood knew about her. They knew about how she was. The grandma and the other sister knew about how she was. And they thought that was a good environment for a child. And I'm trying to understand, in what world would that be okay for anybody? Let alone a little girl that young.
But I wonder, like, because she didn't know she was going to her mom's sister until she got there. So now I'm wondering if her mom even knew that's where she was going. Because I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like their grandmother and their aunt said they were just going to take her, but they didn't tell the mom where they were taking her. Maybe the mom just assumed she was going to stay with her own mother.
I don't know.
Or did they tell her that she was going to her sister? I don't remember that. I feel like Pastora found out once she got there.
Yeah. And they didn't, another thing that irritated me with that too, they didn't even give her the benefit of the doubt. That lady just came over and was like, she stole something from me and kissed my son, and her mom was kind of like, oh my God, like, you didn't even seek the truth. You just believe whatever that lady told you.
Didn't ask questions or anything.
But I feel like race plays a factor in that too, because like no, I don't want to like offend anybody. I'm not Dominican, but I have had a lot of Dominican friends, and seeing how the culture works from an outsider, colorism is really, really bad over there in that community. Racism is really, really bad. And based off of the cover of the book, they were darker than most people. And usually, like, the richer you are, you're lighter. So I feel like it could have been a race factor. So, like, of course, it's like well-to-do, rich family with like a light-skinned, probably white son. Of course, they're telling the truth. And my daughter's the troublemaker, even though your adult son, because correct me if I'm wrong, he was going to college, right? Was for how old was she? 12, 13.
Was she younger than that?
Okay. She was around that age.
Yeah, but either way,
she was not even
not old enough for him to be trying to mess with her. Little pedo.
And then what irritated me too, he tried that again with Camila and later in the book, and then the mom came and like rescued. And I wonder if like the mom did that out of guilt.
Probably.
Yeah. Like, because honestly, at that point, that seemed like the first time I caught anyway, that she even acknowledged anything that Pastor went through. Even though she didn't really acknowledge it. I mean, she alluded to it as in, like, I'm not going to let that happen to you as well.
Right.
Which is about as close as she came to something loving.
Right. Nice.
In the
exactly.
Motherly.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna reference this. This is the book I used afterwards. My little good old literary theory anthology textbook to pull out to reference everything that I have. And one of the essays that I found that I thought was really, really interesting for Pastora in particular, and it's called, if listeners out there want to read it, it's called Borderlands, and T is the bilingual one here, so correct my pronunciation. La Frontera. Okay, cool. By Gloria Anzaluda. Okay. But she says in her essay, what did she say? In the culture, it expects women to show greater acceptance and commitment to the value system of men. The culture and the church insist that women are subservient to males, and if a woman rebels, she is a mujer mala, which I think means like a bad woman.
Yeah.
Bad woman. And I feel like that fits for Pastoral 100%. And I feel like Matilde, her sister, she's like the respectable one.
Right.
Poor her. I felt bad for her too. I was so happy at the end. I cried so hard for her.
Yeah.
She went through it.
And because into that, I think what quote was it that made me just what did her mama say? She said, "This life is too long to spend alone. Even a no good man is a man, and that's good enough." I said, "Excuse me?"
What kind of mother?
Yes.
Like, can you imagine?
And that was the scene. That's when Pastora came to her, right, and was like, "This is what he's doing." Okay. Ugh.
Wait, no, even worse. That was the scene where her mama was there.
Yeah.
And
she was
saw
crying.
him not coming home the entire time.
Oh, okay. I thought that was that.
That's even worse.
Okay.
Like, you're seeing it with your own eyes, this man treating your daughter like complete shit. And you're like, well, it's about as best as you can do.
And I feel like with her...
For real, and then...
Go ahead.
Oh, keep going.
My
Keep
bad.
going. Yo, keep going. I'm trying to find
With
this.
her, I felt like she didn't nip that in the bud when she was supposed to. Because you hear it all the time. If you let a man shenan, he's going to shenan again. There is no way on God's green earth that you were going to leave me on our wedding night to go frolic and I'm just going to be okay with it. Are you cool?
Like, he didn't even make it back to the room. That is nasty.
No.
That is nasty. And he's really lucky. He's lucky that she is a kind-hearted, like, meek type of woman. Because some women will reach a breaking point and just straight up kill you over something like doing that type of stuff to them for decades. And then you crying to me about your child that you had outside of us?
With your mistress?
Oh, that part when he was crying.
I just knew she was going to stab me.
Me too.
I just knew it.
I wanted her to. I wanted her to so freaking bad, but the fact that she held her composure to just like to do that, to comfort him, like the audacity of this man. But there is a scene. I'm trying to find it. I saved it, but I didn't like let me see. There was a scene where what's her face? Where Pastore came to her house to talk to her mom without Matilde. And that was the scene where like her mom was like, "Oh, when you have a kid, bring me your daughter." And that was when Pastore was like, "No, like she's not seeing you at all." And let's get into the questions, because I feel like we're going over this with the questions, because there's so much to unpack. Yes. I feel like this could be like multiple episodes, because there's just too much. Okay, perfect. This is the perfect question. Discuss the role of matriarchs in the Marte family and compare this to your own family. What similarities and differences do you spot? As a disclaimer, we all love our family members.
We all love them. Yeah.
But I'm sure we have family members who need to be held accountable for their stuff.
I think it's just one of those things in the Black community in general, for the older women to be hard. Granted, out of necessity a lot of times, they needed to be, you know, like, I don't know about y'all, but my grandparents were very much living through Jim Crow. One of my grandmothers that went through the sterilization they did of Black women in the 70s. Like, it was a hard time to be a woman. And in their family, they were going through that same kind of thing. Like, their mother grew up during those hard times for women, and so they had to be hard. But like, there is something about a woman who is living out of survival and trying to raise a family without getting any help for any of the trauma she's endured. There is something very difficult about that I can't, you know, it's not you can't be angry. Well, you can. I will say you can be angry, but it's almost like, at a point, it's almost like, dang, what did you go through that you can't soften up for your children? That it feels like weakness to be loving. Like, right. That's so sad.
Yes, and there was a quote that I saw months ago, and it was like, when it comes to like, you know, my mother, grandmother, whatever, and I was like, as a woman, I empathize with this maternal figure, but as a daughter, I need to understand why, why these things were done, and that's a quote that reminded me of this. Sorry, my drink is already kicking in, y'all. and like you said, like, they grew up I'm trying to figure out like the time span of it, but I don't know if you guys learned about this in school, but around the time in Dominican Republic, you had the Trujillo era, and he was a Dominican dictator, very, very anti-black, very racist, and was just terrible. That's all I really know about it, but I wonder, like, I feel like the mom grew up in that era.
Yeah.
It's known that, like, her mother did not approve of her husband at all. So under the assumption that he is also a brown or darker skinned Dominican, so she's going backwards instead of, I don't know the phrase in Spanish, but it's like bettering the race. So it's like you get with someone lighter and lighter. So I wonder if she also had like an animosity for her own life because she's living the way she's living, which didn't seem that terrible. Again, I'm not in that era, so I don't know. But compared to what she could have had if she followed what her mom had wanted her to have. And she takes it on her kids. Well, one kid. Just one.
I feel like all of them low-key kind of got it, though. Because even with Flora, like, 'cause she would be upset that she would be, like, crying and stuff when she was pregnant with the other babies. And then, essentially, you know, I feel like she was kind of not the nicest to her either.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because the babies were dying. So it was almost like she was...
Like, she was the reason why.
Causing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pastora got the worst of it, for sure.
Yeah.
But I think she just wasn't a great mother figure in general. Even with Camila, when you look at their interactions, it's very, like, she was very dependent on her, unlike how she was with the older daughters. And I think that forced her to kind of chill out a little bit, but she was still very controlling and very strict and very just like not cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And think about that's the only kid that was around because everybody else was in New York at this time.
Everybody else was.
So you drove your kids away. They don't want to be around you, and this is all that you have. And I think that scared her too.
With her getting older.
As far as similarities and differences, listen, all the matriarchs in here remind me of some woman in my family.
Unfortunately.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Unfortunately,
Don't ruffle any feathers.
I don't have a lot of aunts or anything like that because my mom, she was an only child on my papa's side, on her father's side, and then she has my Aunt Lynn. So it's just them. And my Aunt Lynn doesn't remind me of any of them, thank God. But it's just the stories that they're common, unfortunately. Like you see every day a woman stand with a man who don't care about her.
Yep.
In her face, in the world's face, and will still stick with him out of some kind of misplaced need for, feeling like you need a man or feeling like you don't have anything else better to have. And it's just like, man,
Yes.
it's so sad to see because, she had so much life. And then it was like, what did Pastora say? She said, everybody can see her brightness except for at home, and she has to go back home every day.
Yeah.
I was like, man.
We're talking about
sucks.
Matilda for those who are listening. But then she could have got a man. She had a fine ass, younger dancer man that wanted to pay attention to her. I think that's when it started to click for her too.
Yeah. That I still got it.
She was like, oh. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't have to stay with this dusty ass man getting everybody pregnant.
And I feel like her mom kind of crippled her too. Because when she got that opportunity to dance with like that dance troupe or whatever, could you imagine the life that she could have had and all of the things that she could have done if she just would have said no? Like, and I think she was like, what, in her 20s? I don't have to
20
listen to you anymore.
26, wasn't
Yeah. I don't.
she? Damn,
I think,
30
yeah.
years old.
I don't have to listen to you
And
anymore.
so tethered.
And that's a TikTok. A TikTok I saw yesterday where it's basically saying how like the members of your family are losers and they want you to stay a loser. They
Well,
don't
damn.
want you to. It was very like, I was like, oh, she was right.
Yeah.
They want you to stay. A lot of them want you to stay in this particular spot and not venture out and do stuff because I think they're also scared because it's unknown too.
They don't know anything.
But her
different.
mom really did, yeah, they held her back from this dream that she had. I feel like the only one that didn't get the shit end of the stick was Camila.
Yeah.
Like, granted, yeah. Was she in a lavender marriage? Yes, but she was out here
Frolicking.
you do your thing, I do mine. And you got money? Okay. It's okay.
It
We're all
ended
fine.
happily.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like she's the only one that. Well, and then Floor too, because like her husband was just like there. She didn't really care for that.
He was the alcoholic, right?
He was the alcoholic, and she just was kind of just like, yeah, I'll just marry him because.
Was that Flora? Or was that
she-
Pastor's husband? We liked him.
Flora.
He went off. Okay.
Yes,
yeah,
he was
yeah,
a good
yeah.
one. Yes, he's Matilda's husband's brother.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was like, they told him about the driving in the hotel and stuff. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, but Flora's husband was like an addict. But remember, Flora, she was going to be like canonized because they thought her gift was saint-worthy. So I feel like she was more on like the God track. And I was like, yeah. She's like, yeah, he's okay. I'll marry this one.
Pretty much.
I was pissed at him too, because how do you piss away 50 bands?
Oh my God.
That's a lot of money.
Oh my God. Yes.
Not only
Again,
that.
the patience that these women have. Yeah.
In all those years, you've never asked to look at the bank statements. I'm just willingly handing you my check.
No, sir.
Foolishness.
And that's the next question. Like with their partners, like how do the men play a role in uplifting and also disparaging their spouses? Again, I feel like the only ones who can't really complain are Camila and Pastora. Because again, Pastora loved her husband. Camila loved her husband too, but you know.
Yeah, I feel like it was a different kind of love.
Fine. Yeah.
I feel like there's more understanding.
Right. They appreciated each other.
Yeah.
Yes. And I don't think Mama Sylvia, I don't think she deserved her husband
No.
at all.
So many.
He was too sweet of a
Cause
man.
how many kids they have? And it didn't seem like they were actually lacking anything.
No, they had all that
They were
land.
In a
all-
home, food, like.
And yeah.
4 daughters and 1 boy.
That's a lot of kids I had to take care of in that time.
But they had to work. He wasn't rich. And I feel like he might have been very much like marrying her out of love. And like, I love you and I want to take care of you. But she didn't deserve him. Listen, between her and Abuela from Encanto, they can both. I don't care if they have a redemption arc. They
There
both
was
suck
not
it.
no redemption. There was not enough.
It really wasn't.
And I feel the same way about the grandma in Encanto. There was not
Yeah,
enough.
because she never apologized.
She never apologized.
And
I
what's
love that
crazy
movie,
is
but that I don't like.
she didn't have a gift either. You're over here shitting on Maribel. You don't have a. You just hold around that candle. That's it.
Being controlling.
And mean.
And that's
Ugh.
exactly how their mama was. Mama Sylvia was mean for no reason. Well, I'm not gonna say for no reason. I don't know why she was mean. But she was mean.
Yeah. Reason unknown
And
to
she-
us.
Yeah. Like, again, it's one of those, it's like Matilda's situation, but in a familial aspect. Like, how do you have these amazing daughters with these special gifts, and they're all obviously, you know, very smart women, and you just have no compassion for them? You don't want to nurture them at all. You just trying to bring the hammer down, judge every chance you get, and make sure that they like can't be happy. And it's like, I don't get that.
Yeah.
Something you took the time to grow inside your body, how can you treat it horribly? I don't get that.
I know. I feel like there's so many, honestly, I could write a whole paper on this. There's so many cultural aspects too, because it's a very Catholic, yeah, do they have like Santeria and stuff like that? Yeah, but it's a very Catholic country. So it's like, and this is a time where like Catholic schools, they would like still hit the kids with corporal punishment. So I feel like you have that puritanical religion aspect to how they parented as well, plus the trauma of, again, assuming they grew up in the Trujillo era. So it's one of those things where it's like you understand why she is the way that she is,
But do better.
but it also doesn't make it okay.
Yeah, right.
Like, don't put your trauma on like your kids.
And I don't know if y'all
Essentially.
noticed, the brother even was not exempt from the trauma of living in a house like that, because it seemed like his wife was not very nice either. And his daughters had gifts, and his wife wouldn't let them learn about them, or at least talk to their aunts about them. That's like,
They said they think they
okay,
referenced she was
that's so cool.
evangelical at the end. She was religious,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't let her do it, which that really upset me, because like, you're really gonna prevent me from standing up there with my sisters while she's giving this speech.
Right.
Yeah, like, what do you mean? That's his sister. Ugh,
Crazy.
that's stressful.
What's the next question? Let me pull up the next question. Oh, this is a good one. Do you relate to any of the characters? If so, which character best represents you and why? I don't want to go first.
We're all like,
I don't know that I relate to any of them, really, but I can relate to some of their experiences. Well, maybe that's relating to them. Okay, yeah, I guess I could, but several of them for different reasons. So the one thing that stood out to me first was like, oh Lord, and it just, was it Ona? Yes, Ona. And they talked a lot about how she would basically talk to her mom and pick on her for being country and try to educate her on certain things. And basically, Flora was like, you think you know everything. Like, I know what I'm talking about sometimes. Like, I know you think your mom is dumb, but like, you know. And it just made me laugh a little bit, because me and my mom have these conversations sometimes where I feel like I'm trying to educate her on how to self-care, and you know, basically the same thing Anna was doing. And my mom was like, girl, we did the same thing, we just called it something different. Y'all just like to and I'm like, okay. And when she literally said the same thing in this book, I was like, okay, mommy, I hear you, I'll leave you alone. We have to respect the wisdom of our elders, even if we don't understand it, because they did. Just like Flora did. She had her own form of self-care. It wasn't what maybe somebody else would do for it, which honestly, I think it was that's the kind of self-care I do. Get in a bath, do some meditation. I might not, you know, yeah.
relaxing my mind and body. I feel like, I guess, relatable. Maybe, well, I don't know if I would use relating. I liked certain things about what all of them did. Like, I loved how, like, kind Matilde was. And I loved how, Yachty, I loved how, you know, she was, like, super duper smart, and she went off to school. She realized that essentially that wasn't gonna fit her anymore, and now she has her own cafeteria. Like, I love, like, those different aspects of them. And of course, trying to show more empathy, because they did go through a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot I was muted. I had to find that quote. I feel like the two that I related with the most, one is Ona, because there are parts in the story where, like, I highlighted it, where literally the same words that I have said are said in this book, where she says, houses always freaked me out because another human could be anywhere in the square footage and you might not know. In my childhood apartment, the moment I walked through the door, it'd been clear when the neighbors were home. The upstairs Rugrats and Mommy and Poppy were in their bedroom. Listen, growing up in an apartment, I don't like houses. I do not like houses at all. They freak me out. I told Jeremy the other day, literally yesterday, there's too many places for somebody to get in the house. And an apartment is one way in, one way out. And then, of course, if you have, like, a fire escape, then that's two. But whatever. There is that. But with Ona dealing with her pregnancy losses and stuff like that, one of the scenes that made me cry, like, really hard was the part, I forgot what page it's on, but it's the part where she talks about how she, when she was younger, she always talked about how she didn't want to have kids. She wasn't going to have kids. And now that she's in a position where she does, it's like, did the ancestors or somebody, did they hear me say that so much?
I cried
now they're
at
making
that
it
part.
incapable. That got me, because those are thoughts that I have had so many times. Because when I was younger, like, I literally tell people, like, no, I'm not
Same.
doing that.
Yeah,
Not
I
at all.
literally remember, because I was diagnosed with PCOS when I was 16 years old. So I've always known I've had it.
Same.
I was legit happy. I was like, oh, I can't slip up. I can't get pregnant. And I was fine with it. I was happy about it. I'm like, oh, I can't get pregnant, you know? Just like, I'm safe is how I felt. Because especially growing up in an environment where I know my mom had me when she was 15 years old, it was always drilled into my head, don't have no babies, don't have no babies, don't have no babies. And I was, you know what I'm saying, that was my safe place. So when I actually wanted to have them, I did think that a lot. And honestly, sometimes I still do. I'm like, God, like, did I talk myself out of being able to have children? Like, I cried at that part. I really did.
Yeah. I had to put it down. And on top of that, too, what got me, first of all, her husband's name is Jeremiah.
Oh my
Mine is
gosh.
Jeremy. Mine is Jeremy. Jeremiah is from North Carolina.
I did see that too, yeah.
Jeremy is from North Carolina.
How did I not catch that? Whoa.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay, so we're doing this right now. And then on top of that, too, like, imagine having this magical vagina, which I want to talk about later. But you can literally will your vagina to do anything that you want. And the one thing that you really, really want, you can't control it.
Wow.
You can't will this power that you have to benefit you right now in the way that you want it to. So that got me. And I feel like I'm like Pastora, because I've gotten in the mode over the past couple of years to call my family out on their bullshit a lot, because it's annoying. And there is a part, which if anybody in my family listens to this, it might hurt their feelings, but you know what? It is what it is. There's a scene, I gotta find it. Shit. Basically, it's talking about how she would, like, she pretended to be kind towards all their relatives, despite how unsupportable so many of them were. And I think a lot of us do that in families where it's like, my dad has this phrase where it's like, I love you more than I like you. And for me, being able to admit that, like, I love my family members, some of them, but if we weren't related, I would have absolutely nothing to do with some of these people. Like, none at all. And I feel like Pastora was one of the first people to do. She cut off her mother.
Yeah. Warranted.
Now, yes,
Yeah.
warranted. My mom's a good person, so I wouldn't do that. But, and it says, just because someone was kin didn't make them her kind. So I think those are the two women that what's the word? I'm already this. Don't garden and do podcasts at the same time, people. That's what we're gonna call it, gardening. Those are the two that I feel like I connected with the most because, so freaking good.
I want to.
Hold on.
I think this was actually about Camila. And as we're talking about this, I actually realized I relate a lot to her as well, as far as experiences go. There's two quotes that I highlighted when I was reading. The first one is, this woman who wanted to protect me so much had let her care braid itself into a vice around my throat. I could not be a woman in her home. And then the second one was, oh wait, no, that's the same one, but I forgot the first part. I left young because I had to. And one of the things that is weird about Camila and Mama Sylvia's relationship is that she was the one that got the love, right? Or more of it, but there was still such a control there that she really was not allowed to thrive either. She had to get out. And like that's not necessarily the case with me and my mommy. I love my mommy. My mommy is super nice and loving and everything. But we did bump heads. She would agree to that. And I think a lot of it was this same kind of idea of kind of like what I was saying earlier, like having her own experiences growing up and being a teenage mom and the struggles she went through. She wanted so badly for me to not go through those things that at times I felt very stifled. And those same restrictions I felt, my brothers didn't feel those because, of course, they can't get pregnant. And so, like, it was very, I would say probably from my teens up until I was a good 25, it was really hard for us. And, like, there was a time we weren't speaking very much at all because it was just, like, constant button heads. And as an adult, I can see now, like, you know, she had the best intentions. She just wanted to make sure that I didn't repeat any mistakes that she made. I also had to force myself to leave so that I could become the woman I wanted to be, because as long as I was in her house, she was trying to make sure I was the daughter I needed to be. And that's two very different things.
That's a word. I like that. I like that. I do. I really like that.
And that, I don't even know how I missed that scene, because I've had conversations with my mom verbatim where it's like, I don't think you see me as a woman, as an adult woman, because the way that you talk to me, the way that you tell me certain things, it's very much still like a child, like you're gonna do X, Y, and Z, and then it's like you can't do that. I'm living on my own. I'm married. Like, you can't do these things. And then there was a part in the book where Flor was talking about Ona, and she kept referring to Ona as the girl. The girl liked to do this. The girl was doing that. mind you, she's talking about her adult daughter, but still referring to her as a girl. That irritated me.
Yeah, because she's, like you said, she's grown now. She's making her own decisions. She's doing things, whether you agree with it or not, they're still getting done.
But I feel like mothers and daughters have such an interesting relationship. Like Tia said, when you have brothers, they can murder somebody. And it's like, okay, okay, like, it's fine. But when you're the daughter, it's like, you're under all these things, and it's like, what? Pay attention to what they're doing, because they're over here actually literally running amok right now, because you're not paying attention to them.
What?
Because think about it, even with their brother Samuel, I forgot they had a brother until the end of the book.
Yes.
Because he was just
He be living his life.
doing whatever. Like, oh my god. I kept forgetting he existed. This is the good
or the oldest is just like not for the weak of heart.
No. It's irritating. But this is a good question. I feel like I don't know if you picked this question, Tia, or I don't know who picked this question. But what roles do family land, herbalism, and natural food slash ingredients play in this novel? Because that was referenced a lot.
Bodies, and then what was it? Was it family land, the herbs, and what was the other one?
Ingredients, natural food. Because you have Yadi, she's vegan now.
Same thing with her too. And honestly, that was probably my favorite quote from the grandma. Let me see if I can go back.
It's one where it's like whatever food you put in, something like that. I'm paraphrasing terribly.
And I really liked it because I think she was like, basically, what you put in is what you're getting back out, and it needs to be good, basically. But yeah, that was like my favorite quote, and that's what made me think of that.
Yeah. And like, even with Camila, I don't know if you guys caught it, but like the scene where she gets married and she starts to use the herbs, and her mother-in-law was like, well, you don't need to do that here. Because we're in the city now, like, you don't need to do those things. We have doctors and stuff like that. But it's like, as y'all know, like, I do medicine and natural stuff. There's benefits to both. Because Tia knows, the minute I have an itchy throat, okay, let me boil some ginger and cinnamon and stick my head over a pot of basil and peppermint so I can get this stuff out. Because sometimes that works.
Yeah.
Better than any medication can. And it's like, even with Yadi, with the food that she's putting in and her being vegan, one thing I got, and I don't know if she meant it this way, but her relationship with Mama Sylvia compared to her mother's was so positive. Because the house was going to be hers. She missed her grandmother that connected her to the land. And what I found interesting is that once her grandmother died, it's when she started getting that taste for limes again. Limes, something that's very integral to that culture. And I feel like when she didn't have that, maybe that was her becoming Americanized.
Yeah.
And not having a taste for her cultural food. And now she is again, because she has that connection with her grandmother. And now her food is helping other people, because that was her gift. But like, and even like having a flexible mindset. Her family did not understand that she was vegan or anything like that. They did not like it. They're like, no. But now they're like, wasn't the whole venue vegan that night?
Yeah.
For her?
Really embracing like her, and I think she even said it. She was like, if I'm gonna pay somebody, I would rather pay somebody in the family. When she was talking about like the caterer and stuff.
Yes.
And I love that even though they didn't really get it, they still were so supportive. I loved that. And yet another connection. Like I love that about my family, because like y'all know I don't eat pork, I don't eat seafood, I don't eat a lot of stuff that I grew up eating. And I remember the first time I went to my granddaddy house and he had a pig. Okay, a whole pig, okay? And I ain't talking about a pig on the grill. And I was like, Granddaddy, I don't want no. I was like, I don't eat pork no more. He looked at me like I had 8 eyes, but he was like, okay, baby, well, it's some. But they did not get it. But when I tell you, they always make sure we got some food to eat. Like, I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
They'll give you shit for it, and then they'll finally just be like, okay, what's that scene? Of course, my favorite part, my Big Fat Greek wedding, where she's like, well, he's a vegetarian. He doesn't eat meat. And I was like, what do you mean he don't eat meat? She's like, oh, that's okay. That's okay. I make laugh. Like, that's probably one of my favorite things. Because honestly, I get that way sometimes. Because my aunt, she's a pescatarian. But like, she won't even eat lamb. Lamb is a very big deal to Greek American people, okay? So for me, like, I can't wrap my brain around it. Granted, I don't eat beef, I don't eat pork. That's normal to me, but like lamb, not even like a little bit on Easter. Just a little nibble. Like, it's so good. Damn, now I want some. I made some lamb shoulders the other week.
That does sound good.
My God.
I miss lamb. That's one thing I can't get down here. Well, I can get it, but it's so hard to get. I gotta go to the actual butcher.
Oh, yeah.
But, man.
Oh, that was. I'll make it for you next time you come.
Please do. And some spanakopita,
Yes.
please.
Okay. Jeremy gets so bent out of shape because I'll make it for you, but he asks for it all the time. I'm like, oh, it's too time consuming. I don't want to do it.
He's gonna hear
Friend
this,
benefit.
and you're gonna have to cook it for him next, like, once this airs.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Because what it is, like, it's preparation. Like, the baking of it is fine, but it's the preparation of it. Granted, I can make that in my sleep. It does not take me that long. But
It'd be like that.
the thought of it is too much. He wanted collard greens the other day. Like, I don't want to do this.
You sound like me anytime Terrence asks me to cook at all. I don't like cooking. I don't want to do it.
Oh my God. No, because sometimes it's too much. And he wants like this intricate ass food. Like, what did I make 2 weeks ago? Last week? Goat stew.
Sounds good, too.
It was good. Took almost 3 hours. But I did it. He gets one big meal a year. That's it for me to just Oh my God, hold on. What was we're at 10 minutes. This is a big question. And I had a feeling you were gonna pick this. Tia.
Oh, what did I do?
Flora gives a compelling speech about her life at the end of Family Lore that raises a question of how we want to spend our lives. What does it mean to live well and die well? What kind of life do you want to live so that you can be okay about coming to terms with your own death? Why did you pick that question?
Because I cried. I cried at the end.
I did cry at her speech. I did cry. I did. Oh, God.
I feel so strongly about this subject. Okay, I gotta read y'all my favorite quote. Okay.
Okay.
The divine does not live in fear, and the godly lives in each of us. This is one journey, and beyond this, there is another. There is no veil between this world and that one. They are the same world, the one before this one, and the one that comes next.
Yes.
That did make me cry.
I love that, because, like, I feel like that's so true. Like, if you're spiritually inclined, most people are gonna have some kind of concept of an afterlife, or where you were before you come here, whatever that looks like for you. And I think all three of us have slightly different beliefs, but I think we all agree on that part. And it's like, when I'm looking and I'm reading these women's stories, and I'm thinking about that, my whole thing is like, oh my gosh, I can't get Matilda's age. I'm just using her as an example. And be like, damn, I done wasted 3 decades doing something out of fear. I can't. And so, like, I feel like for me, living a good life and feeling like, oh, okay, I'm okay when it's my time to go. I'm okay with that. I have to live authentically. I have to live exactly how I believe is right, whether people agree with it or they don't. And I have to live in a way that I won't regret that. And this also, okay, I'll say one more thing.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm liking
I
this.
You're good. Because there's also a show that I was watching, which is random, but I think I told y'all about me watching the Rick and Morty anime, okay? Which, if anybody who's listening, I know it's random, but listen, Rick and Morty, the regular one, is very different than this anime. This anime was very emotional. It was very thought-provoking, and I cried. Yes, I cry at everything, but I cried watching this anime, right? But one of the characters in the show said, when you're thinking about what you can do today, don't think about what happened yesterday, because that doesn't exist anymore. The past does not exist. The only thing you can regret is your future. I was like, oh crap.
Rick and Morty? Okay.
Rick and Morty.
That's what I listen. That's why I listened. I was like, oh, okay.
Yes. Like, it was so like, oh my gosh. And like, it literally pushed me to, okay, I got to get on my job, because I can't regret my future. Like, I know what I want out of life. I know where I'm trying to get to. I have to do what I got to do today.
I like that.
And yeah. This book gave me that same feeling.
That is a long time to not do essentially what makes you happy or even brings you a little piece of joy. And I feel like that's how I want my life. I feel like that's kind of how it is now and how I want it to continue. I just want my life to be very multifaceted. Like, anything that I want to try or anything that I want to do, I'm going to find a way to make it happen. They're like, oh, you doing all these hobbies? Sure am. Anything I want to try. I bought a guitar.
I love it.
I'm going to play it. Like, just, like I said, whatever it is, it just makes me happy. And you know that feeling like, 'cause you know we're older, so if like you have like a younger sibling or little cousin, and you have on like an outfit and you think it's cute, but then somebody young is like, oh, well, you look cute. It's like, oh, I guess I am cute today then. 'Cause, like, that feeling, I want to have that all the time with the things that I'm doing.
Yes. And I think, like, for me, it's, as cheesy as it sounds, I feel like I sound like Alexander Hamilton when he's like, I need to leave a legacy behind for me. But that is how I feel sometimes, where it's like, I want to build literally quoting the fucking musical, I want to build something that's going to outlive me. Like, I don't mean to quote it, but like, and that's when I started taking my writing more seriously. Because like, for me, in the same way, like, you want to try all these different things, even if the outcome isn't what I want it to be, at least I can say that I tried it and I attempted to do it. Because the only way that I can regret it is if, again, I just didn't do it at all. But at least I can say, like, I did it. And like, I think if, God forbid, something happened to me tomorrow, would I be okay? Maybe not, because I haven't done everything that I wanted to do, but I'm on my way there to do it. But like, that, her speech made me cry. The ending had me,
like, I was really
ugly.
hoping she wasn't gonna act.
'Cause I was like,
I know. But then when she finally, and then when you have what happened with Ona and Jeremiah, like, that same night, Oh my God. I was just like threw the book to the side and I was like, just ugly. Because that's something I think about too. Because my mom is older. So it is like a sad thing to think about, but like, and I hate that we didn't get to see Ona's reaction.
I know.
To her mom passing. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. But I know the biggest thing, the quickest thing I want to talk about, because it's tied into what I said in the beginning, where it's like you had some people who like didn't like the book, and I'm going to make it a race thing. A lot of people that I saw on like Goodreads and stuff like that who didn't like the book were white.
Of course.
One person literally said that like, oh, you have to be like on the inside to understand what's going on because of the use of Spanish and stuff like that. But it's like, that's the purpose of reading, is to read things about people that are not like you,
right? To
grow. And then from my book, Audre Lorde, who I love Audre Lorde, in her essay, Age, Race, Class, and Sex, she says that white women, not all of you, what are you gonna be like? She says,
no, y'all like this
right. Yeah, no. She said white women have a hard time reading black women's work. It's because of their reluctance to see black women as women and different from themselves. And she says it's the same thing for like any woman of color writing something. And I think that's why like they disliked it so much, because it's like, and even like with Ona talking about like her magical vagina, I don't know if it's because we read so much romance, like her talking about her vagina is nothing to me.
No.
Like,
we don't have one.
I thought
like,
it
why
was
are you tripping?
awesome. Yeah.
Right, like you don't want your period to stop randomly just because you want it to.
Colonialism, it's all the same. Because our bodies are natural. We're supposed to be comfortable with it. We should be so, like, I was so happy for her. Like, girl, you can do that.
Right.
Yes. Let me learn.
Exactly.
Teach me.
Literally. And I feel like, because again, you have like that religious aspect to it, and then like the cultural aspect of it. And I feel like that's why her power was like so taboo, because you're not supposed to talk about sex. Because even she said she didn't talk to her mom about like what these different things were. Even when it came to her losing her babies, I think she says at one point that she didn't think about talking to her own aunt, who also went through miscarriages.
Right. And
like, there's, for her to have that and that type of background is amazing to me, because like I'm jealous a little bit. But there would literally be like reviews of like, oh, how much can you talk about like your alpha vagina and blah blah blah.
That's crazy.
And it's like,
and I don't feel like it was overkill. I feel like it wasn't, maybe what, like 3 different instances where she talked about it. It wasn't a lot.
No,
not at all.
Not at all.
It was like, perfectly highlighted, and it made sense in the context of the stories it was in. It, you know, I feel like there are a lot of times where, and like we talk about this all the time, like how we're like, dang, we get one normal week a month. We're so controlled by our hormones, like whatever our vagina feel like it's gonna do this week, we have to just go along with it.
Right.
What a power to be able to actually control it. Anybody who doesn't understand that, I'm like, you are brainwashed by something that's telling you there's something wrong with your vagina. Because I don't understand what the issue is.
No. Somebody commented like, oh, like her turning the smell up, and it's like, okay, that's how pheromones work. You literally release.
That's nature, baby. Like
they're just mad.
Again, get help. Because I don't understand. Get help.
Get help.
And one more
read
thing that, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, read books and stories about people that are not the same as you.
Get out of your comfort zone.
Because even after a while, the Spanish was fine. I was able to figure shit out. Like, it's fine.
Context clues. I mean, I don't know exactly what they're saying. If I really wanted to look it up, I could. But if I didn't, I'm like, oh, okay, I think I know what she said.
Because you know how to critically think. You're a critical thinker.
Yes.
Girl, these people.
What were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, you reminded me of something, and what you reminded me of is the fact that when Ona was doing this, and she's like, I can't believe, basically like she couldn't believe that she had waited till now to ask all of these questions about their lives and what they had experienced, and it just really made me think like how blessed we are to still have the time to ask those questions to the people we still have.
Yes.
Because we've all lost people where we could have maybe gotten some information and we didn't think to ask these questions. But the older I get, like I'm having more conversations with my mom or my grandmothers and getting more insight into kind of how, kind of the things they went through or their life stories that I didn't, of course I wouldn't have understood as a young child, but like as an adult I can kind of understand a little more. And I think it's just really important we make a better effort to try to record or to learn the stories
Yes.
of our ancestors while we can,
Yes.
you know?
And that, like, hold that grandmother thing tight, because, like, that's the biggest thing I regret. Because I have two different women, two different walks of life in New York that I could have asked. Like, asking my dad's mom, like, what was it like being a black woman in New York in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s? Like, what was going on? I know what's going on history-wise, but with you, what happened? Asking my mom's mom, what was it like for you growing up as an immigrant in New York during this time, during a time where you might have gotten in trouble for not speaking English and all these other things. Like, cherish that, because I wish I could pick their brains about that now.
Same.
That's like the biggest regret.
And could you imagine
You
just like
should- you
hearing
should-
it too? Like you said, recording it and hearing, because like I do have like both of my grandmas. We kept their voicemails for like a really long time, like after they passed away. So we would still like call and stuff like that. But like you said, imagine like stories from like childhood, being able to play that back. What? Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
And like
I love that you have the voicemails.
I know. Like I love
I listen
stuff
to mine
that.
like every so often.
I want to record something as well, because I think about that too with my great grandma. She passed when I was like 17, and she was over 100 years old.
Love
so
that.
like,
It's a
can you
blessing.
imagine the stories?
That's amazing.
Can you imagine the stories? I wish
Yes.
I wish I had thought about, but you know, we don't think about these things when we're younger.
Yeah.
Mortality
Yeah.
is such a faraway thing when
Yes.
you're young, you know.
Yes. I feel like I need to start asking my mom questions and my dad questions, because that would be interesting to hear. My cat is like meowing, and I know if I open this door, she is not going to come inside.
She just
She
wants
just
some
wanna,
attention.
No, she just wants to, like, I think she's jealous because Zeus is in here and she's not.
I have a thought, guys, and you two writers. What if we did something like this? Like, the holidays are coming up. What if we like use this as like a reference point to like come up with questions that we want answers to over the holidays?
From our
From like
parents?
our parents and like family members and stuff like that, because we're gonna see them soon.
That's true. They make books like
Yeah.
that. They make books like that at like Barnes and Noble and stuff. Where it's like, I saw one where it's like, Dad, I want to hear your story, or like, Grandpa, I want to hear your story, and it's like, of course, it's questions that people made, but like kind of having that same idea. I will say I did buy my mom a book like that, and she didn't write it. So
Girl, you gotta just, you know how these
fair
women,
enough.
no, it's the
sometimes they
memory, baby,
memory,
because I'm
yeah.
gonna tell you, yeah, my mama, I could tell her something and she forget 30 seconds later. You gotta go in person. You gotta sit in her face.
that hurt my feelings so bad. I bought this book as like, oh my God, we're gonna be connecting so much, and she didn't write a damn fucking word. I'm like, oh.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I'll buy you a necklace next time, I guess. But no, I will sit in front of her and ask these questions.
Yes. Sit down.
Damn it. God. Shoot. No, I like that. That is a good idea. I like that. We're probably going to cry about it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Good tears, though.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. There's so much more that we honestly could have talked about because this book is so layered. I will say if you want like a very like what's the word you used here? A literature-y book. Very plot heavy, very plot driven. Not a lot of like tropes in it. Definitely pick up family lore. But the next book we are reading is coming up October 3rd. Getting ready for spooky season. Do What Godmother Says by L.S. Stratton. So
I'm so excited.
Make sure you
about
pick that up
one.
and join us for that. I have that downstairs, so I might honestly start picking that up today. I'll get to my TBR stuff. This is for work, okay? So I'm gonna read it. But yes, thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you, or not really see you, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Peace.
Talk to you next time.
Bye, guys.